Welcome to the Tenet Podcast. I'm Todd Pearson here in Denver, Colorado, with my good friend and partner in crime, Wes Brown.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Todd. It's good to see you again. Another week. Now it's just the two of us this week.
It is just the two of us. So if you're tuning in this week, you just get Wes and I. We have 2020 election hangover really bad.
Really
I just
bad.
Can't shake it. It's like the flu.
Well, I even called it last week when I said we probably won't even know who won the election. We kind of know who won the election, but it's not official yet.
It's not official. So
patience. We
exhausted all of our energies thinking about the leading up to the election this last month. I think we're in agreement in this. That we're exhausted thinking about the election. We're exhausted from the whole election, and now it's post-election, and we just can't seem to shake it. It's like it's like a bad virus, Wes.
It's like a mini pandemic.
It's like a mini pandemic. And so we're not going to go on a political tirade here, but no. Wes and I are, I think, in agreement that we're both pleased with the outcome of the election, of where it stands currently, but we'll see how this all plays out. And hopefully the nonsense ends soon and we'll be over our election hangover sooner than later.
And for the people out there that, they were hoping the incumbent would win, just know that looks like, Congress and is not going to change much. Maybe there's a couple seats left in the Senate. I think they're trying to decide over, but, I think we're going to have a split executive and Congress. So, there won't be any wackiness. You don't have to worry about losing your guns. You don't have to worry about being,
or your Bibles
or being deported or any of that kind of stuff. I think it'll be a little bit of the status quo, a lot of work with a very little action, which sometimes that's a good thing. You don't get these big swings and, the Affordable Care Act or anything like that. But anyway, I think we just need to take a deep breath, wait for January 20th and move on with our lives. But then we also have the actual pandemic going on, and things are,
which is definitely not going away. In fact, it's getting worse.
It seems to be getting worse. Yeah.
And so you have 3 weeks to get your Christmas shopping done before they shut everything down, right? Well,
that's
not
right.
In South Dakota.
Nothing gets shut down here. It's the wild, wild west of the 1880s. I'm waiting for Billy Kid to show up. And so South Dakota's open. If you're tired of being locked down, we're here. Our doors are open to you. And the pandemic is, the COVID is waiting. I can
smell the freedom from here, Wes.
You can, the waft of freedom that comes from the north. Anyway,
go visit Rushmore now before they put another face on there.
So speaking of Christmas, get on it early, because I work in ad specialties and we're dealing with freight all the time, and they're already starting to not guarantee specific deliveries. So get out there, order your stuff, because everybody's ordering from Amazon, and make sure you order early so you can make sure your kids have their Christmas stuff in time for Santa to show up on your rooftop. And dang, whatever you do not shoot Santa when he shoots down your chimney. Do not come unglued on him.
That would be a really crappy way to end 2020. As if it hasn't been weird already, that would be it, man.
That would be. This has been a weird year, hasn't it?
It has been a weird year. And if you would have told us, so we are celebrating a year as a podcast. And if you would have told us this time last year, as we were launching this thing, that that this is where we would be right now, I don't think I would believe you. Like, I don't think you could write a weirder scenario.
No. Yeah. On many levels, like I can't believe we're dealing with a pandemic. The election's been weird. It's been a weird year when it comes to politics. And I would have never believed we would be here actually doing a whole year's worth of podcasts and not missing a week. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, 2020 is...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say we did have to pivot because of the COVID. So thank God for Zoom. And I know students are thanking God for Zoom, or teachers are anyway. But it's been a blessing to have Zoom so we can continue this conversation with these amazing artists.
And if you work for Zoom and are listening to this, we're looking for sponsors. So don't hesitate to reach out.
We're always looking for sponsors.
Wes at ardentsource.com.
There you go. Wes at ardentsource.com.
Or at least refund our monthly fees for the Zoom. We'll take anything you'll give us.
That's right.
So this has been a labor of love. Like Wes has already said, we've produced 52 episodes. I think we've been really fortunate in the content that we've been able to provide this past year, and we're looking forward to the new year. We've been listened to in like 49 different countries and over 500 cities worldwide, which is, I just think that's amazing that there's somebody halfway across the world in Japan or France or Russia. I've noticed that Russia's been popping up on our downloads. So that's been kind of interesting to see. And we appreciate each and every one of you. And like I said, the fact that people tune in every week, we get consistent listenership, like I said, across the world in a lot of different places. You know, Japan and France and Italy are all some of our top countries that listen to us. Canada, Germany. It's really nice that people have found us and tune in to what we have to talk about each week, and the amazing artists that we've been able to interview. I mean, we've been really, really fortunate in the quality of people that we've gotten on this podcast. Obviously, we've been very much Colorado centric, but there's a plethora of incredibly talented artists here in the state of Colorado. But we've talked to people, you know, in California, Illinois, Florida, the great state of South Dakota, because we had 4 really great interviews with artists up there.
We make a lot of fun about South Dakota, but, you know, it is a great place. Some wonderful artists, just wonderful people that really, their doors are open. They're super friendly. Not much different than some of the other places around, but we do joke a lot about South Dakota. So
we do, but I also joke about Colorado and everything else under the sun. So,
yeah.
But yeah, South Dakota is a beautiful state, and I had a wonderful time when we were up there. You know, John Lopez, that was a phenomenal interview. Going and traveling up to the South Dakota, North Dakota border and seeing his work in person, and being in his studio when we used to do in-person interviews, which we have done a handful in the last couple months, but it's been few and far between. And I don't see that happening anytime soon again until probably after the new year when we see how everything shakes out. But we're hoping to bring you some, spread our net a little bit wider here in the coming months, and talk to some people from across the nation, and hopefully some international artists. So if you're an artist that would like to talk to us, we would like to talk to you. Send us your stuff, send us your website. Wes, you want to give the email address?
Sure. It's info@tenetpodcast.com. So,
or you can hit us up on Facebook. That's a really great way to get a hold of us. You can find Wes or I individually and hit us up via instant messenger, or leave a message for us on our Facebook podcast page.
Speaking of international, I wanted to throw this out there. I can remember the first international listener we had when it was, I think, somebody from Barcelona, Spain, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, we had Spain was frequently listening in on the early days. I don't know. I haven't seen them recently. I should look at the our stats a little bit closer. I don't know that they listen in as of recent, but we always get new listeners. People kind of listen in for a while. I think this podcast, if you do listen to this podcast, thank you, because we know it's a long podcast. It's a long conversation, and a lot of people digest it in 2 or 3 listening sessions. But we feel like it's important in order to give the artists the platform to talk about whatever they feel they want to talk about, and to really get to know the artists and what they do in their work. And like I said, we've been really fortunate in the quality of people. Every single one of the people that we've talked to this year are at the top of their game. And it's amazing in this particular climate that we're in, with not only the pandemic, but everything else going on in the world, that artists are actually doing pretty well. In fact, we know numerous artists that have been selling, even in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I know at least of 3 or 4 artists that have been selling work and selling relatively consistently. So that's been really spectacular to see that people are buying art and supporting artists. And I think it comes back to even when we're in this weird time, people want something beautiful and something nice to look at on their walls, and they're not afraid to part with some of that money. Especially, they're not spending it on probably going out to eat very much or at the movies. So they're spending it on art.
Yeah, that's awesome. I try to follow all the artists that we have on, but Bob Ragland, obviously been following him, probably one of the longest that I've been following the artist. And he just sold, I think, 2 pieces this week and talked about it on his Facebook. And so he's being successful. And, it's just nice to see that the people are coming out and supporting the artists. And I know James Holmes has been there. He's mentioned that he went and seen Bob a few times. So they're there for you to come and visit with them and, order a piece. And this is, we're talking right before Christmas. This would be a great time to reach out to one of the artists that's been on our show and see what they got that you can purchase for a friend, a loved one, your spouse, a kid, a parent. This is a good time to go out and support those artists.
Absolutely. And it's been an honor to talk with people like Bob, people like Ed Dwight. Like, how many people get the opportunity to talk to, and the first Black astronaut candidate. That guy is amazing, just as not only as a person, as an artist, but everything that he's accomplished as an entrepreneur. Blown away by that guy's story and the fact that he was willing to talk to us. It was absolutely an honor.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying before, we've been really fortunate in all the artists that we've had the opportunity to. This last month, we've been killing it. Every single guest that we've had on here has been just really fun to talk to and had a lot of, wealth of information and wisdom to share with our listeners. So I really appreciate everybody that's been on the program and has been willing to give us 2 to 3, sometimes 5 hours of their time.
Yep, Jerry
Dela Cruz.
Oh my God, that was fun. But yeah, these artists are phenomenal. And like you said, Todd, they're really at the top of their game. And, it's an absolute honor and privilege to sit down with them and share some time, and really get to know them. And, everybody has a unique story. Even the young artists have a very unique story as getting to where they're at currently, even though they're relatively young in their career path. It's just fun to hear how they got there, their journey, and where they're hoping to go. So, and then you got the seasoned veterans, the Luceros and Bob Ragland and them, and what a wealth of information and just wonderful stories. I'm always blown away by just the pure humanity of the conversation and who they are as a person.
What have you been surprised at in this past year in doing this? What has surprised you? What's is there anything that has blown you away?
one of the things that surprised me is the quality of artists that we got. And then I think the other thing that surprised me, and part of this is you're doing, but the fact that, we get a diverse look through, we're not stuck in one genre. We're doing something different, whether it's a number of women artists, and then we switch back to men, some Chicano artists, and then African-American artists, and and just this well diverse group of artists. So that's been surprising. Personally, the biggest surprise, and I've said this multiple times now since we've talked I talked about Clifford Still, is the fact that I have a new appreciation, and fact that I've gained an appreciation, not a new, but I gained an appreciation of abstract expressionism, which I always poo-pooed, and so I've been really surprised and pleased the fact that I've come with a different view now of that whole period. And it continues with like James Holmes and the amazing art he's producing that, definitely nods back to that abstract expressionist period. So yeah, that's been my big surprise. How about for you?
I've really enjoyed this journey and just getting educated. I think I haven't gone back and listened to our episode 0, but if you listen to our episode 0, I think we are probably sound a little naive in some ways, which is fine by me. I mean, we had talked about at some point, because as this evolved, like taking that down and redoing our episode 0. But, it's been an education and a journey, and I don't think we really had a true vision of what this would evolve into. And now it's this fantastic thing that we get to do on a weekly basis and get educated. Because if you've listened to this podcast, Wes and I are not art historians. We're not art experts. We're just curious, and we love a good story. So that's what's been fun for us, is to listen to these stories and garner, these little tidbits of wisdom from the business world, from the art world. And if there's one thing that we've learned from doing this, is that there's no set way of doing it. Like, everybody does it differently. Everybody's in a different stage. You look at James Holmes, who's a very successful entrepreneur and has done, a bunch of different things leading up to picking up the brush 2 years ago. And here's a guy that's killing it. And he's only been doing it for, like I said, a couple years. If you listen to his story, hopefully you'll go back. If you haven't, if you're just now tuning into our program, hopefully you'll go back and listen to that and all the rest of our interviews that are in the archives, because there's a wealth of information there. So if you're willing to spend the time, put it on while you're in the studio, or if you just need a good story or something upbeat, almost every single one of these interviews that we've done, I walk away inspired and just awestruck by the amount of creativity that there is in the world.
Yeah. And there's some real gems out there. And I was just kind of looking at some numbers here. And the other thing that I think is really cool is Georgia Amar. She just kills it. She continues to kill it. Like, people are all, they're going to her and listening to her episode, and what a fun lady. And if you, a friend of mine was saying, hey, if I'm going to start, where should I start? And I either say her or Ed Dwight, because those are the two most fascinating. Well, I shouldn't say most fascinating, but these are some really fascinating stories. And I think we connected really tight with Georgia. And it was just a world of fun to hang out with her for that evening.
Georgia's a kick. I actually really miss her. I haven't seen her in months because of this whole COVID thing. But she is such a hoot. And I don't know what it is about that interview, except for the fact that she took the reins early on. And if you listen to that, you can see it. It's like, we didn't even stand a chance. Like, before we could even start asking questions, she's asking us questions. Yeah. And then we're just off to the races, because she's just got a very acute, inquisitive mind. And I love her a lot. I actually need to reach out to her. I haven't corresponded with her for, 4 months now, maybe. So yeah, super sweet lady. Love her a lot. She's pretty cool. So yeah, there's some really
some great interviews out there. Another one that I thought was, kind of early in the game was Topher Strauss. Here's another one. He's just killing it with what is, a very unique style of art, and he's just killing it.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Dan Drossman is texting me. I didn't text him. He just started texting me. I'd given him a shout out because I went and saw Dan's show, which if you get the opportunity right now, he's just doing it by appointment until the closing date, which I should know this because I just posted on our Facebook to promote his show. But I think it's the 5th of December it's a Saturday. 5th of December, 12 to 4. He's got the space at Bit Factory at the back. It's the garage at Bit Factory. And he's got a really great show. He's got some new work up there, but he sold some stuff this past weekend. So actually, some of his new stuff might have gone out the door. Well, I know at least one piece did, but anyway, he was just texting me and telling me thank you for helping to promote the show. I love that guy. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's just one of those people that makes me happy to be around. He's funny as all get out. He's got a great sense of humor. And I really enjoy seeing him anytime I get the opportunity. And it's been a while. Actually, it might have been since the podcast that we did with him this spring that I saw him.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I saw Bill Thomason this past weekend when I was down at Bit Factory, and he's got a new show that is launching here. Let me see if I can find that information. That it opens November 20th. So November 20th, it's 10 days from now, Friday the 20th. It is Taking Chances, the Pastel Society of Colorado signature member show. So it's November 20th through January 14th of 2021. Bit Factory is located at 851 Santa Fe Drive here in Denver, Colorado. And he's got a really beautiful space that he shows phenomenal work all the time down there. So go check out that show. And then you can go arrange to go see Dan's show back at the garage at Bit Factory.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's one thing we really try to do is promote the artists that's on the show. We continue to promote them even well after their episode is over. And one thing I would encourage you, if you're listening and you're on Facebook, go on, find them, like their page, and then share their work with other people that you know, because we want them to be successful. And when the artists are successful, it comes back to us and it comes back to you as a listener. I really believe that if you put out good vibes and you're willing to share, those things come back to you in fold. So please, if you're listening to this, and no matter where you live and you're on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anything, just share their artwork and what they're doing. And by all means, if you get an opportunity, share what Todd and I are doing, and like what we do, like our page, share our podcast, share our Facebook page. Just makes our reach a little deeper. And that's the name of the game. And we really believe in what we're doing. I almost feel like this has been a calling for me and probably for both of us, that you just have that the morning you wake up, you have this good vibe, and it's all because I feel like I'm doing something that has purpose by promoting art and culture and these artists. So it's so important that if you get out and share, I appreciate it. If you do it, I think, like I said, it'll come back to you.
And if you can, subscribe. And what really helps us out is if you rate and review us, because those reviews help get us noticed in the various algorithms or whatever they want to call it. All the technical stuff, I don't know. Wes, you know that stuff, right?
I know a little bit.
I know that if you rate and review us, it really is helpful. We anticipate doubling whatever we've done this year. We're going to double or triple it this next year for sure. We do have some big names that we have been working on getting on the podcast, and we're excited for that. I'm not gonna jinx it by naming anybody yet, but we have a couple people on the line that we're working on. I'm laughing because Dan Drossman just texted me. I asked him what he was doing. He said, "What am I doing? Just watching some Michael Jackson live performances. The usual." I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. That's the usual. That's hilarious.
I love that. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I love Dan. He's so funny.
That's funny.
So in thinking about the future, what do you foresee for this next year? What do you want to do?
Kind of like what you talked about before. I want to broaden our reach. I really want to get some artists from, the New England area and, New York City, LA, Chicago, the big, some big cities, some big hitters, and I want to start seeing some names that other people would recognize. I just really want to broaden our reach. There's a ton more artists in Denver that are phenomenal. There's a lot more South Dakota artists I'd love to get on. And, but really just kind of upping our game, just really exploring some new areas.
So, the people that we're working on right now, but is there anybody that we need to be working on to try to get on this podcast?
So you want me to name a name? Is that what you're asking?
Huh?
You want me to name a name? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. I want you to put it down.
So this is the name I'm going to throw out there. Todd and I've talked about it before. So Banksy, if you're out there.
Banksy.
I know you don't do interviews, but I think you can be on this one and be anonymous, and we won't show your face, but we want to hear your voice and we want to hear your story.
Okay. So yeah, let's throw down the gauntlet then, man. Yeah. If Banksy's people that would be beyond phenomenal. If Banksy, which I think we'll be pretty fortunate if somebody that knows Banksy is listening to this podcast. But if you know Banksy or his people, tell him that the Tenant Podcast wants to talk to him, and we would love to have him on. And we will adhere to any and all rules that would be put forth that we'd have to abide by. But I would love to have Banksy. You know what? Dennis had told us that, if we wanted to get somebody in particular, I still would like to get Mark Bradford on.
And he's another one that doesn't do a lot of interviews from my understanding.
No, I think he's a pretty private guy. So go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, here's another name. Chance of getting in probably slim to none. Just seen him on CBS Sunday morning. I don't know if you watched it this last week. Just turned 100. Just turned 100.
Oh, what is that guy's name?
Pierre Soulages, the painter of black. He paints just in black, and he's French. Obviously, lives in a town in France. Too bad I don't. He lives in. I think he lives in the town he grew up in, Rodez, in France. But what an interesting story, and what an interesting guy. Another abstract expressionist. A contemporary of Mark Rothko, Clifford Still, and
I thought that was interesting because they didn't mention Clifford Still at all.
I know.
They talked about they mentioned Rothko and they mentioned Pollock, but they did not mention Still. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Like,
Clifford's
why
still
is it
getting
still
robbed.
being messed? Seriously, right? Like, I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, but that's because they haven't had the education that you and I have had.
True. And that's what we got from doing this podcast.
I wonder if we're going to get an honorary doctorate in this when we're all done. We should get some honorary doctorate from Harvard or Yale. You're going to make me one?
I'll make you a certificate that I'll frame and send to you.
Oh my God.
Doctor of bullshit.
Doctor of bullshit, huh?
You can make one for me too. We can be doctors of art bullshit.
I already have a BS in speech, so that's kind of a BS and BS. So
well, there you go.
Speech and calm.
No, but this has been a great education, and I'm glad that I asked that question. I didn't know where you were going to go with that, but I'm glad that you threw out Banksy because we have had that discussion many a time. So, and
if if we buy into the whole Kevin Bacon theory, we're only 6 people removed from Banksy. So somebody that you and I knows somebody that knows Banksy, and I bet you it's even less than 6. I bet you there's only 4 degrees of separation between us and Banksy.
Okay, so let's back up here for 1 second.
All right.
Since we're on this topic, what is the Kevin? You've mentioned this before. What is the Kevin Bacon thing? Is he the one that put forth the whole?
Well, no, somebody else put it forth. So he was been in so many movies, and so there's basically you can line up 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon between him and any other actor, and I'm not going to try to make one, but he's been in a lot of movies, from Footloose to all of them. And so somebody came up with a kind of a game called the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And it's everybody's connected acting wise to Kevin Bacon. And actually, I think you can say Kevin Bacon is connected to anybody by 6 degrees. Like I had dinner with Danny Glover. Obviously, He knows Kevin Bacon or knows somebody who knows Kevin Bacon. So that's the whole 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Okay. And how did you get the 4 degrees? You're willing to go as far as saying
I'm just throwing that out there. I think but we've met, a number of artists that know other artists that probably know somebody
that have turned us on to other people
let's like Detour. I mean, he's a perfect example. Obviously Detour knows somebody that he's connected to somebody that's connected to somebody in England. And Banksy, got his start, or he does a lot of street art, right?
Okay, yeah, there you go. No, I can buy into that. Now that you say that, I'm like, I think Dan's going to join us.
That'd be cool. So my whole thing about Banksy though is because he's elusive, and I think he probably has a lot to say, and we have a platform to say it. We do long form. I would go 5-6 hours with Banksy if he's willing to come out or I do 30 minutes, I'll give him a platform. I just think it's probably an interesting story, because he's so private and not very many people really know who he is. So that's kind of
and I'm not sure that we could get the story because he's not going to give us any details, but we could at least talk about his art and how it progressed and stuff for sure.
Yeah. He's not going to tell us his name or where he grew up or, stuff that's not already out there. But, I'd love to know why he does what he does. And his creative mind is amazing. So another one I'd really like to get. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Another one, we've talked about him before, Jim Carrey. I know he's an amazing artist and I want to get him on. I think he, talking about his passion. And we'll put movies aside. We don't need to talk about there's enough people talking about that. I want to talk to him about his passion of art and why he started it, how he approaches it. I think Jim Carrey would be a wonderful person to have on the show.
So if we're talking about celebrity artists, mine would be John Mellencamp.
Oh, yeah.
And if you've ever seen any of John Mellencamp's work, and most people don't realize he's an incredible painter, he does these phenomenal portraits. So that might be somebody that I need to work on. Look who it is, dude.
Is he on? Oh my God. It's Dan. Can you hear us?
Yeah. There we go.
Dan Drossman. How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
You too.
We're doing our kind of a year wrap up. We've been on this thing for a year now.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. And you're our guest host.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You're our guest. You didn't even know it.
Nope, I didn't.
You were texting me. I'm like, hey, I should get Dan on the program. And Wes is like, yeah, go for it.
I thought we were just chatting,
Well, we are just chatting.
We are.
Oh.
So you got a show that's opening or is open?
Yeah. It opened this weekend. So yeah. And it's by appointment only now until the first Friday in December. Then it's open to the public again. So it's nice. It's been a long time. So it's nice to kind of get it out there, and show the stuff I've done lately.
Yeah. So tell us about the show. What are people going to see?
I think I have about, since COVID, I think I have like 4 or 5 new works that are maybe 4 that I'm showing. But they're going to be, some of the paintings, larger scale, and then some, I think when we were on that podcast last, I just started getting into some collage. So pretty much all the new ones are some like combination of collage and painting. Yeah. So, and then, just a whole smorgasbord. If you say that right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you sold one of those new pieces this weekend, right? You said?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Great. Thank you. It's bittersweet. I really like that piece.
It was so funny because Barb, my wife, and I went down there and to see the show, and we were laughing about it. And Dan said, it would be bittersweet if I sold that piece. I kind of want to sell it. I mean, I think artists that that really are into what they're doing at that time, it's hard for them sometimes to let go of those pieces. But Dan said, I'll be kind of sad if I sell that piece. And sure enough, it wasn't like I was probably home for maybe 45 minutes after going and seeing him. He said, hey, I just sold that piece. So I thought that was pretty spectacular.
About 5 minutes after you left. I wish I said I would, it'd be bittersweet if I sold like all of my pieces. That might have worked out better.
Just throw it out there.
Yeah. We'll try it again next time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's especially like a newer work that, I kind of want to emulate or kind of work up the same, it really worked. I think I really liked it. But if it's going to the right person, I'm really happy, and it did. So, if it isn't, I'm still happy, but somebody who really appreciates it, which I guess if they're buying it, they do, but it worked out. I like them. I like who it went to,
Yeah. So do you have any pieces that like you refuse to sell? Is there like a piece that like, this is mine and I'll never part with it?
Yeah. The one I just sold, basically. No, I mean, cause it's what it's there for. And it's also, if someone's putting that much money into it, they really, really like it, I think, unless, and it's kind of there for, that's what it's there for. And I have images of them, so, but it's, there's nothing, it's always, some of the older pieces I'm okay. There's a couple of them that I really do like, but no, they're there for sale, to sell and to have somebody, really like it and have it in their place.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you know these people personally that bought this?
So about a year ago when I had that show at the architecture place, this guy bought a smaller work of mine, and loved it. It was a nice piece, a smaller drawing, and, so whenever I'll have a show, he'll come in, but I hadn't had one in several months. So, so I knew him from there, and, he's a fan of my work, and so it's great.
Were you really watching Michael Jackson live performance videos when you texted me?
That'd be a weird thing to lie about. But
I didn't. It was kind of random, so I felt like I got to ask him because you strike me as somebody that would just throw that out there just randomly, just like, well, let's see what he thinks about that.
Yeah, well, I couldn't tell you about Desperate Housewives, but so I just went for the Michael Jackson.
Okay, there you go.
It was I just like that his little documentary. I was never like a huge fan, but I was a fan. But watching, I think we even talked about watching the process. It's all like behind the scenes and stuff. And just watching him like float on stage is pretty impressive.
I think he's an impressive artist. Do you remember where you were at when you heard that Michael Jackson had died?
Yeah, I was in Brooklyn. I was actually in a bodega getting a breakfast sandwich on Driggs Street at 11:04 a.m. No, but I do remember that pretty specifically, which is interesting. He was one of the first, when I was like growing up, elementary school, he was one of the people I drew like a lot. I like to draw him and walked around with his little glove. So I guess I was a fan at a younger age, but I don't wear the glove anymore.
You know what? So what if you do, right?
Yeah.
It's 2020. You can do whatever the hell you want to, man.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll bedazzle my mask.
There you go. There you go. What's funny is I don't really remember where I was when I heard about Michael Jackson dying, but I can tell you exactly where I was when I heard Elvis Presley died.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was in a parking lot at Super Dupers in Sisseton. My mom was inside getting some groceries. I was out in the truck listening to the radio, and my mom comes back, and I told her, and she didn't believe me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wow. They made trucks back then?
Yeah, they did. They had a Ford F-150.
Nice. That would be.
I was standing in line at Costco waiting to check out. That's where I was when Michael Jackson died. And when Elvis Presley died, I was standing at the end of the driveway of one of my girlfriends. She wasn't my girlfriend, but playmate or whatever. And her mom was Paulette. Paulette was always done to the nines, and she was from Mississippi, so she had that southern lilt, and she comes running out, and she was crying her eyes out, and she said, "I know you don't understand, but Elvis Presley just died." And she was so like devastated. I was like, wow. I didn't understand it. I mean, I knew who Elvis Presley was, but because everybody knows who Elvis Presley was, but yeah, I just remember her, like, her makeup was running down her face, and she was always just like always perfectly made up, beautiful woman. And I was just like, wow, she was really like, it's hitting her hard.
Yeah. I think the most hardest hit I was at an early age was Stevie Ray Vaughan when he died.
Oh,
that one hit me hard too.
I was young. I think I was in elementary school, I think, but I took up guitar for a year, I want to play like Stevie, but that guy, yeah, that was a hard thing I mean, as an elementary school student, it was hard, so,
yeah,
but yeah, it's crazy.
That one was a hard one for me too. I was a bit older than you, but
yeah. Yeah.
But I remember, that one was a hard one.
So I bet it was, yeah.
He was iconic. And now we lost Eddie, another iconic guitar player.
I know you were like flabbergasted that he'd passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been a huge year of loss. And Neil Peart, who Wes and I saw on the last Rush tour, that was the first time you'd seen Rush, right?
Yeah.
Wes?
Yeah.
So that one was a huge one this year.
That was kind of devastating for me. I love Neil. I mean, but I grew up with Rush blaring in my speakers in high school. So, I mean, I've been a long time Rush fans, and Neil Peart was, the drumming god, as far as I was concerned. So yeah, losing him was a surprise, and devastating to hear. So,
yeah. Well, I got canceled, but it's happening this coming year. Do you ever listen to Primus?
Yes.
Oh.
I've never seen him in concert. Stuff, my wife has, but I've never seen him in concert.
And they're coming and they're doing a whole Rush album.
I had heard that.
I have to look it up again. I got tickets. It got canceled, but waiting another year or 7 months or something. But yeah, Primus is they're probably the best live band I've seen. So I mean, Les Claypool's a genius. So, but yeah, that'll be fun.
I may have to give them another listen because of you. I'll have to check them out.
I mean, I think seeing them live is something else, and then just listening. I think there's a live album called "Suck on This" that's amazing. They do a great cover of "Have a Cigar" as well, but they're I think what blows me away, I mean, aside from just his genius, Les Claypool, but there are three members and they sound like 10. They're so big, it cannot be three people playing this, but yeah, we should give him a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Les Claypool just did an album with Sean Lennon too, didn't he?
I did not know that.
I think he did. I think it's called the Claypool Lennon Delirium or something like that.
Sounds about right. Frog Delirium or something. Sounds about right. Yeah.
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah. And actually, I think I heard one of the songs and it was kind of psychedelic and kind of cool.
Yeah.
Who else you been listening to, Dan?
Well, I started, when you kind of listen to things so much that you're going to like burn out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So a while ago, I think it was, I don't know, 4 years ago, I was like, for I don't know how long straight, but I've probably made about 10 artworks with Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy album. Just loved it. And last month or so, I started putting that back in. I'm like, wow, this is amazing, So a lot of Smashing Pumpkins. And then there's like hip hop. There's a new guy who I'd never heard. I don't think many people have, Marlowe, who's really, really good. And yeah, I guess it just, trying to think of the others, what I've been putting in. I kind of obsess over one for a while, and I think it's been the Smashing Pumpkins,
I do the exact same thing. My obsession lately has been the Stooges. I don't know why, but I'm on the Stooges kick. But I'm reaching that threshold, like you were talking about, where I'm about ready to burn out on them, and I'll have to switch to something else. I can feel it coming, but I just I don't know. Maybe it's just the mood I've been in lately.
Yeah.
I need to get some of that pent up aggression and anger out of my system from the last month leading up to the election. Then this whole election process. And before you came on, Wes and I were talking about having this election hangover. Have you experienced any kind of election hangover?
I guess the most of it is a relief, or just like, just kind of, I'm happy, and I'm still, I think I told you before, still feels disappointed that it wasn't that close, but like after 4 years that there's still people who are, Americans who are like, yeah, I'd support him again, So, but
can I have another glass of Kool-Aid?
Yeah. So it's like,
I'm not filled up yet.
Exactly. But, I think it's been more of just kind of like there's a weight that's a little off, just kind of like, that whole, how long it took to get all the results in and how close it looked, it's just like, no, please, let's just, and then it's gone, it just feel a little lighter.
Yeah. I actually made a post on my Facebook, and I don't know if you follow me at all, but basically saying, look, people are losing their minds. You just need to calm down. Electoral College convenes on the 14th of December. That's when they, announce who they're voting for, and just kind of relax till then and let the process work. And, it is what it is, but it's out of our hands now. So we all did our part.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that was it felt like a close one, but it's, I feel good about it.
Yeah. I'm just, and the sad thing is that we're so divisive right now. It's not going to it's still going to be kind of ugly. I just hope that, we can get beyond all that and get back to some normalcy that we didn't have. So,
yeah. To me, it was like there was the political aspect of it, but it was like a personality type sociopathic narcissist, like is leading our country, or that it just, and his, all of his, race, everything was just like, this can't be our leader, can't like have people look up to this person.
And I hold the presidency to a higher standard than I would hold our normal, a normal person. I think when you represent an entire country, you have to have integrity. You have to have some sense of, moral fiber to you. And I think he lacks that. And that's what bothers me most about him.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I mean, someone in that, that power, or that influential is, I mean, the positive that you can get from it is as strong as the negative. And there was a lot of, hatred, and it's a lot of negative that, he wasn't just some person, it was somebody who had influence on not just the government but people and people growing up, and, so, yeah.
And I think next few, I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead.
We're okay. We're not going to get in trouble for saying this stuff now.
No, I don't think we'll be in trouble.
Anyway, if you disappear, I'll know what happened to you, Dan. Don't answer any weird knocks at the door in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Okay. No helicopters. I'm not going to. Yeah.
Right.
So.
But I think what we're seeing, and I think the next few weeks, his character will continue to show. And I think we're going to continue to be disappointed. The fact, I look back at when John McCain lost to Obama, and his concession speech said a lot about John McCain. And I just wish President Trump had that, but I'm not sure he does.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, he knows that the longer he strings it out, the more ramped up everybody's going to get. So, and that's what he's a professional at doing. So that's his MO. So have you, because we talked to you back in beginning of May, all the stuff that has transpired since May to now, have you been channeling that stuff into your art, or have you been in a totally different headspace?
It channels regardless. Yeah. I mean, it's, the way I work process is, stuff will come out, and I look back at the works that I've done, and it's there, and I think, I think some of the works that I've done over this time there were a bunch of different figures, man and animal, beasts, and other things like connected and intertwined. It wasn't. And the last several, there's been a lot of negative space, and there's been single figures, and twisted and contorted, and it takes a little while to figure out what the pieces mean, but, over time you start to see what's come out of me, and I think I took some time, I don't know when, just kind of looking at them all together, I guess putting the show together, and noticed some of that, that aloneness in it. That piece, I think the one that, the piece that I did sell is called The Quiet Edge of Interior. And it took me a little while to figure out, but there was like this dark figure, it was kind of a bright rainbowy type thing with, background, but it kind of like this ominous dark figure kind of hovering above. And during last 3 months, I'm coming out of it now, but there was some, takes its toll mentally, and I was pretty depressed, and I hadn't been like that in a while. But I see that, what I kind of took from those is like when you're alone and when all this stuff is happening consciously, unconsciously, like there's some unconscious dark shit or just stuff that kind of is like bubbling to the surface, bringing it like up to consciousness, and because you're kind of forced to confront some of that stuff when you're in one, when all this stuff is going on, and two, when you're alone, so I have to take some more time and look at the others, but I think the biggest things that I took from is solitary figures and a lot of negative space in a lot of them, where a lot of the other stuff I've done was pretty, and not all of them, but pretty compact, like a lot of different stuff going on. So, yeah, if that answers the question.
Yeah, I could definitely see that in some of those pieces, man. And I can only imagine once things get lifted a little bit from not only after this whole election thing has been sorted out and we have a new president in January, but also the pandemic. I'm really curious to see all the art that has been produced during this time,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am.
I think the cool thing about abstract art too is that it feels like, and I might be totally wrong, but it really emokes from feeling more than, something visual or whatever. It's really, that's where you're going to see a lot of different interpretations of what the internal world of the artist is doing, I think. Am I right?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, that's, expressionism, it's more of a pulling from feeling than analytical, there is some of that, but it has to be yes, you are right. At least in my mind. Yeah.
So before you logged on, Wes and I were having a conversation. We're talking about people that we want to try to get onto the program. And so we had thrown out a few names. Is there anybody that you would like to hear on Tenant Podcast if we could get him on?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first one that comes into mind is, and I think she's going to have a show coming up this weekend. Amy Loomis. She's a extremely passionate artist, and she does some really beautiful, realistic pieces, but have a very, I would say, expression. There's a definitely feeling that you take from them. And each series, she does a lot of work, but the series kind of, I'll get different, visceral feelings from them, and I don't get like that too much from realistic rendering as much, so that's kind of intriguing to me, to see that. And her work is great, so, and I can't remember where she's showing, but I can find out, but and she's great about talking about her work, and she's just a great person too. So yeah, I think her, and as of now, that's the first one that comes to mind.
Okay.
I can think of, yeah.
So Wes threw it down the gauntlet tonight.
Yeah.
Put it out into the universe, and now I guess I need to get my act together. But he threw out Banksy.
Oh, to talk to?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can get hold of him. Yeah, that'll work.
And we talked
you don't have
about
any connections, do you?
I'll have to talk to my friend Pablo Picasso and see what he said. But,
you going to do a seance, are you? Good. Yeah, I like that.
Might be able to thank from that.
I talked about doing a seance, trying to reach some of Pablo Picasso before.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. In one of our I think it might have been a pre or post discussion, but I threw it out there like, hey, maybe we should have a seance. And
yeah, I'll talk to him, see what I can do.
Well, see, here's my thoughts though, right? You've heard 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
Yes.
So, you're only 6 degrees from Banksy. We just got to figure out who that knows somebody that knows Banksy.
Okay.
And I'm thinking it's more like 4 degrees. I think you know somebody and he knows somebody and they know each other.
Okay. Well, give me some time. I'll try to. It sounds easy, so yeah, I'll take.
Yeah, well,
there's actually the 2 other people who I think would be great, and they're out in New York, but more of a conceptual. Well, both of them are conceptual, but Eduardo Gil, he's from Caracas, but he has some amazing work, and Brent Birnbaum, who lives in New York and he's obsessive, but just his stuff is amazing. And not only the work, but they're both great to talk to,
Yeah.
And Banksy. Yeah.
I threw him out there because it's such a stretch. And if you're going to dream, you might as well dream big. He's going to have a unique story. He won't give you any backstory, but I'm really interested in, him, his mind and what he thinks and why he's anonymous and,
Yeah. This is just little offshoot, but have you ever seen that TV series, Nathan For You?
No.
Oh,
I mean, it's genius. It's really funny, but there's just this little clip where he ends up like, he's like a businessman sort of, but like he goes to try to like help failing businesses succeed, but does these outlandish stuff, but find ways to do it. But there's a part where he has this coffee shop, or he goes to this coffee shop and tries to help them, and says, if you were to somehow make a parody of Starbucks, and he ends up calling it Dumb Starbucks, and they have dumb ventis, and it becomes this huge thing, actually like international news, that he makes it work, and he like makes this little cup that looks like Banksy, and he spreads it out like, a news reporter's like, I think people say it might be Banksy, and it might be like, it's ridiculous, but that's where my mind just went there. So check his show out.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
A show that I have no affiliation towards, but yeah.
So what else have you been watching
this
summer?
God, that show I've been rewatching a lot, Nathan For You.
Because I feel like everybody's coming to the end of the shows that they can binge. Like everybody's binged what they can.
Yeah.
And everybody's scrambling and scratching to find the next series to occupy their minds, especially during the cold, dark months.
Yeah. It gets exhausting. Trying to think the last one I really got into. I think The Vow was pretty good. It was really good.
What was it?
The Vow.
The Vow?
It's the cult. I can't remember Keith. I can't remember, but they started a cult.
Okay.
And it's all basically, footage. And there's I think he was a physicist who was in this documentary years ago called What the Bleep Do We Know? Quantum physics. But he kind of got into this group and, ended up getting out. But, and it's basically just this kind of messed up cult that you can kind of, throughout the documentary, you can see how people got into it, and then you subtly see the shifts of how fucked up it is and what they're doing. But the people who are in it, some of them can see it, but some of them are just brainwashed, and comes to an end. And basically, I think last week, this guy, the head of it, was he's life in prison now, for what he did. But it's on, I think it's on HBO or Showtime or something. But
yeah, he would have sex with his members and the female. Yeah.
And branding them. And
yep.
But, when you just hear about it and hear what happens, you're like, oh, that's fucked up. But like, you kind of see how slow the process is, and how they're not, people who get in, brainwashing, it's not like they're gullible or, unintelligent. It's just it's smart, it's not smart, but it's like, it's a process, and it's scary,
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like 10 years, of like, and then people's, your whole reality is false, afterwards, and you see it. And I could imagine you just wouldn't want to believe that, but then when you do, the world is just turned upside down, so it's interesting. The Vow, that was the last one I think I got really into.
I'll have to check that one out, man.
Yeah. Oh, and the Queen's Gambit.
Is that good?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, if you haven't watched that, man, even if you don't like chess, if you're not into chess, it's very entertaining and really well written, and it's not something you're gonna have to invest a month into binging. You can do it in a few nights or a week or whatever. But
yeah, I think I did 2 days.
Yeah, no, it's that good. I mean, I was like, wow, this is really good. I got sucked into it, but I'm a chess player too. And so I thought I thought the storyline was good. I thought and then I'd read that, they had these professional chess players help, consult on the series and stuff. And so all that chess is real chess that you're seeing.
I can imagine. I was going to ask you, it's like I would assume these moves that they're doing and, the way I would assume they're pretty spot on, but I don't play,
and I'm no grandmaster, so, but I know that there's, like my buddy Jamie, I know some of those openings and that sort of thing, but he's one of these guys that, reads chess books when he has time to the nth degree and knows all these different openings and history and stuff. And I'm not that into it, but I do enjoy the game of chess. And I thought it was really well done.
Yeah. I know the horsey goes up 2 and over 1, I think.
There you go. If you can get the knight thing down, then that's half the battle right there.
Yeah. So
here's a little tidbit for you. If you haven't already invested a good portion of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So I started watching, I shouldn't say started watching. I watched all of Ray Donovan.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
You have not seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Ray Donovan, it starts out a little bit slow, a lot of character development, but then it gets pretty good. And then right about in the middle, I think it was like season 4 or 5. I was like, all right, I can just tell that this series is, it's reached its pinnacle. You can kind of feel it, and like, this is not going to get any better. I don't think I want to invest any more time into this. And just when I thought I was going to cash out my chips, it started to get a little bit better again. So I wrote it out for, I think it's 7 seasons. So we finished the last episode and then I'm laying in bed. And I go to my wife, so when is the next season? Is the next season out? When is it going to be released? And so she looks it up. She's the one that got me into it. She goes, oh, it's been canceled. I'm like, what?
No.
It's been canceled.
Yeah.
And there was no, it was almost like a Sopranos thing, but not thought out, right? So it just kind of leaves you hanging and you're like, son of a. So I learned my lesson. Now I do my research.
Yeah.
Do that because that was a good month and a half endeavor.
I would think, some of those shows that are that good, they get picked up by other, I don't know. Yeah, I figure it should get picked up somewhere else.
I think they might do the new thing. I think is they do a movie after the fact to kind of wrap the loose ends up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like they did with Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad they should have just left alone.
Yeah.
I don't know why you did El Camino. I mean, I like the movie, but it's really wasn't necessary.
No, it was. Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah. I just finished Longmire and Justified, and both of those I feel like, man, they could have just kept going. Those characters are so great that I would have watched 8 seasons or 10 seasons. But yeah, those were good binging shows.
All right. I haven't seen those. So
yeah.
Did you ever watch The Wire?
That's another one.
I tried. I wanted to. Everyone was like, just wait a couple, wait till the 50th episode. And
it's a little slow at the beginning. Give it 50.
Last episode you get hooked on, But I wanted to. I mean, I could retry. I think it would, whatever. There's so much out there, but I could retry that. I think I tried a couple times and just couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
that was me and Better Call Saul. I just couldn't do it.
Oh yeah,
and I've heard it's great, but man, I need to skip to maybe season 2.
Yeah,
there's a lot of character build in that one too. Yeah. The Wire I had a hard time with. I had to I probably rewatched the first episode or first couple episodes probably 6 or 7 times before it actually took.
Oh, yeah.
I'd watch it and I'm like, I don't know, and then I'd watch the second episode. I'm like, I don't like this. And I don't know what made me stick it out the 7th time or whatever it was where I finally did the whole series. But yeah,
right.
It is a good series though. But sure. it takes a while to get into it. Yeah. And maybe it just doesn't, it just won't do anything for you. Peaky Blinders is one that I really enjoyed. Have you seen Peaky Blinders?
No.
That's good. But I feel like that whole thing is maybe hit its pinnacle and probably on the downward slope. But that's a good one.
Here's the greatest show. Well, it's not the greatest show ever, but this is a damn good show, but they only did one season. It's called Rubicon, and it's all about espionage, but it's really kind of in your head espionage, and there's a mole in the group, and it is phenomenal. But and then it died. It was an AMC show, and then it died. And I was like devastated because it was just amazing.
God, all right. I'm glad I came on this show. I have all these other things to procrastinate with now.
Sorry.
Forget we even said
anything. Yeah.
Oh, I can procrastinate with the best of them. I'm a professional procrastinator.
Yeah. All right. Good to know there. 5 more series to watch.
Oh, man. So what do you got planned for the next, obviously you have your show this next month. You got any other shows lined up or anything else that you're chewing on right at the moment?
Not this. I have, the closing at the end of, the first Friday, Saturday of December. I would like to try to maybe add another, it's, to put another piece or two in there. There's 5 pieces that I haven't finished yet that would be nice to put in there. But then, trying to work more on, the cloth style that I'm trying to kind of work, hone in on. And then there's actually a possibility of, which is exciting. I just talked to this guy today, but possibly curating a little space on Larimer Street that's offices, dental office, but they have a lot of wall space. He's the person who actually bought the piece of mine. He approached me on it because they've had some good stuff, but they want to really kind of build up this space with great works of art, and he asked if I wanted to kind of curate and do that, and so that's something I'm trying to think of doing, have a very strong, monthly first Friday shows, stuff like that, of not just Denver artists, but national, people I know back in New York, or have these calls. And I've curated once or twice before a while ago, and I always do it in my mind anyways, so it's it would be a really fun thing to, on Larimer Street. It's not your gallery area, but just as good wall space. And I think I'm going to try to kind of think of some, there are a lot of themes to shows, but I want to kind of do them a little differently. I think that's something I'm kind of in the process of trying to figure out. I just, 2 days ago, I was told that this opportunity, and then I went and met him today at the space. So, yeah.
That sounds fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Be a whole different outlet. And like you said, you've done it a couple times. I'm sure, I've never curated anything, but I think that'd be really fun opportunity and experience. So cool.
Yeah. So
you have to keep feeding us the information as far as how that shakes out.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
It's in the dark.
You're done. You're done with Tenet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I would definitely do that. It'd be fun. It's just, so yeah, I think it could lead to other, more art I can look at too. It might lead to different things for myself as well,
yeah,
in terms of ideas and, stuff like that. But yeah, I think just basically that, and just, what I love about showing, sales are great, but just to kind of see the work I've done that have been, just in my hand, seeing it as a different light, different perspective, and having other people view it and see what they're drawn to. And, I get inspired. So I want to I got a lot of good insight and kind of have a direction of where I want to go. So hopefully I can kind of build on that,
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen many shows this summer?
No.
You probably saw some of Thomason's stuff at Bit Factory, right?
Oh yes, yeah. His isolation series. Yes, I was definitely like that. Some of his pieces are so strong to me, or his style and how he and there's this quietness to it, that I definitely like. But, and his ability to paint real is amazing. So, but like his show is great. I got to see that and talk to him about it as well, which is nice. So that one, I can't think of many others because there was a show at Rule Gallery. Forget the guy's name. But everything's been shut down. So it's been hard to kind of go out and see stuff. So now things are starting to slowly come back, and which is nice. But it was also nice to have a break and just say this is my time to, make my own stuff, not look at anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at the mural work and the crush walls stuff, out in Larimer that was fresh and vibrant. Get to walk around and see that stuff. Yeah, not much. How about you?
I haven't been. I tried to go see the show before isolation, but I never could. I kept on missing Bill. Like he was out of town for a wedding one time. And I don't know, there's some other times that I tried to go down there and he wasn't, he had to leave early or he wasn't there that day. So I didn't get to see the show before isolation, which I really wanted to see. And then I didn't realize the isolation show was done. And so I missed that show too, which I'm kind of disappointed. I did go see, there's a show by an artist, it's done now, but Anna Kay, who we interviewed on the program, and I got to see her work. She does these amazing charcoal pieces, and they're just out of this world. I mean, the detail is just crazy. So I saw that at the Sandra Phillips Gallery. Are you familiar with that gallery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that still out, or is
it left? It came down like 2 weeks ago, and I saw it on the very last day. I'd been talking to her about going and seeing it, and then I was like, I just called her up and said, "Hey, I know that this is ending. I want to get in. I want to see it." And she was able to schedule me in because they were doing it by kind of like an appointment type of thing.
Yes.
And it was spectacular. And there's a new show that's going up this week, actually, there at Sandra Phillips. And I talked to her. We're going to get her on the program here pretty soon, probably in the next month and a half or so. But she said that she had some of the strongest shows she's ever done this past year during this whole COVID thing and everything, which I thought was pretty interesting for her to say. And Anna, that show pretty much, I think with an exception of one or two pieces, she sold everything in that show.
Wow.
So I thought that was pretty amazing as well. So that's the show that I saw recently. And other than looking through Bit Factory window, and then I got to see your show. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I got to see this summer. I don't know. For the first couple months of summer, everything was kind of shut down and slow. Yeah. So now I'm trying to get out and see some of these things. I'll definitely go see the new show at Bit Factory that opens up here next week. Yes. And check that out. That looks interesting.
Yeah. I'm excited for things to pop back up. Yeah, like you said, just see what people have made and if it's directly connected to COVID or the political, or if it's on a different level, or if not at all,
Anything else you want to talk about while you have this platform? I know it was impromptu. You didn't have any time to think about it. You thought you were just going to come on and rap, and you were interrupting. You're watching a Michael Jackson documentary.
I know. It was worth it though, because I was also able to press pause, so that's fine.
Well, there you go.
What else do I want to? No, I just, I think that, my closing show, the closing would be great. Opening was great. There wasn't a ton of people, but there was enough people, which is great, and I'm excited to kind of, have that closing at the first Friday and Saturday. Yeah. And the other, I think when we spoke in May, I was in the process of getting my e-commerce side of the website up, and now it's up and running. So that's kind of nice to have a little shop,
Yeah.
So,
so have you been selling stuff? has it started to take off?
Not too much, but I need to do some of my own little promoting on it as well, or like, getting it out there. I'm not so great at that, but there's a couple things, but not a huge amount, but it's nice to have that one click, or that ability to kind of like have that if people want it. So, we'll see what happens. I think, you never know.
So tell everybody real quick, remind everybody your website and where they can go see this stuff.
It's Dan Drossman Art. It's DANDROSSMAN art, ART.com. And then, and then there's a little thing for the art shop on that. But, and then my show is at Bit Factory. I think it's 851 Santa Fe Garage, Santa Fe Drive. And it's Friday, December, what was it? 4th or something like that, 5th, from 6 to 10 p.m. And then I'm going to be there on Saturday from noon to 4. And then anytime from now until then, they can just email me for appointments at dandrossmanart@gmail.com. Yeah.
And it's well worth it. I will push that out again, Dan, towards the closing. And don't forget, kids, Christmas is right around the corner. Dan has coloring books that he sells. Can he get them through the e-commerce site in addition to Amazon, or just Amazon?
I think. Oh, so there's a link on my website to the coloring book page, coloring to Amazon. So, or just go straight to Amazon. Teetering the Line is a coloring book. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool coloring book, and for those long, cold, dark months, pick up a couple good stocking stuffers. In fact, my wife was talking about that on the way home. She's like, we should have really gotten some of those coloring books. So I need to hit you up for some coloring books here in the next month.
Yeah. Well, nice.
Do you ever get to see our mutual friend, Krista Lee, Art by 13?
Last I saw her, I think I was just popping into Bill's studio, and I saw her, and we were all talking for a little bit, but I see her on Instagram. That was the last. Break dancing or making art or something,
I am every now and again, but aside from that, I haven't seen her this summer. So shout out to Art by 13.
There you go.
I knew you guys were all friends, so I was just curious if you'd seen her this summer or not.
Not much. I haven't seen many people, but yeah. So, but yeah, it's good. I think people are coming out of the woodworks now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just as everything's starting to ramp up again, but we'll hopefully get a handle on it before it gets too crazy.
We shall see. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. I'm glad you logged in. I'm glad you texted me.
Yeah, exactly.
You had no idea, did you?
No idea, but I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. No, good. I'm glad you were able to make this surprise appearance tonight.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was just the two of us rapping a little bit about how this past year's gone and what we were planning for the coming year. So we have a lot of work to do. Wes, you have a lot of work to do.
I do.
I'm putting it all on you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Nice. No, thanks. It was great. I was like he just wants to Zoom. I was like, all right, I've never done that with you. It's just like fun, like say hi over Zoom. I was like, all right, I'll try it out. It's fun.
I'm glad you did, and I was happy to talk to you no matter what. But
yeah, no doubt.
I was telling Wes before you logged on. You're one of the people that I'm always happy to see you, man. You always make me happy. It's always a fun dialogue and conversation. So thanks for logging on.
I feel the same. I was glad you popped into my show. So it's great.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because you reached out to me a couple days or a day before, and I'd been thinking about it all week since I saw your post, and then I put it out there. I'm like, I really need to get down there and see your show and just reconnect. So I was glad I was able to, and it was nice for my wife to come and experience your art and
yeah.
Because a lot of times she doesn't take the time to really check out everybody's art that she hears on the podcast. So I think it was good for her to put a name or a face to the name and see some of the art. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was nice meeting her too. So yeah, well, let's keep meeting up. 2 years. Cool. And Wes has to come out here at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a list of people I need to come and say hi, and definitely you're on it. So
okay, good. Yeah. That's great. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, have a good evening. I'll reach out to you here in the next couple of weeks. Maybe we can go do something. I don't know what that is, but something.
Something amazing.
Yeah. Whether it be a hike or get a beer or whatever.
Exactly. That
sound like a plan?
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Actually, maybe I'll hit you up before Bill's new show opens at Bit Factory. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Right on, brother.
See you guys.
All right. Have a good night, man.
You too.
Cool. That was a nice surprise. Yeah, it was nice to have Dan on. And thank you, Dan, for jumping on spur of the moment. We had.
I like the fact that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, like we said at the beginning, we had no guest plan for this week because we were just we're kind of catching our breath before our next round of interviews, and just kind of reflecting on the past year. But it was fortuitous that Dan decided to text me. I had pushed some stuff out about a show on our Facebook, and so he had reached out, and we were texting back and forth as Wes and I we were chatting, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing? You want to jump on?" And so he jumped on.
That was awesome.
It was
and
awesome.
He's fun. And I really kind of enjoyed the fact that we kind of just talked about odd stuff like TV shows and music and, changed it up a little bit.
Yeah. Cause everybody's out of their binge shows,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody's binged everything they can. So,
and I made notes. Notes so I know what to watch next.
I'm telling you, Queen's Gambit.
I'm going to have to check it out. I watched the preview last night or the night before. I guess it was this weekend. Yeah. So, but I didn't invest yet, but
that actress that plays the lead character is, she's spectacular. She's amazing. Yeah. I didn't pick it up, but, she was actually played in Peaky Blinders.
Oh, okay. We should get her on the podcast. Talk about visual arts, movies.
Maybe we can do it.
That'd be fun.
That would be a whole other
it would definitely be an offshoot, but it is a visual art. I mean, we've had Dennis Scholl on who talk about directing film. So,
right.
And producing. So, but maybe somebody who actually acts.
All right.
Anyway, I don't know.
I'll put her on the list. I can't remember her name. She's like,
we'll find out and we'll reach out to her publicist.
Like Argentinian and something else. She's really interesting. She's really unique looking too.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. She's beautiful. And she seems really interesting in that. And that show seems very interesting. Like her character seems pretty interesting. Did I say interesting?
We're going to turn this into a drinking game.
Oh my God.
I think Dan got off the hook tonight. He got on there and he only said process, I think twice. So
did he say process at all? I didn't even catch it.
I was counting it.
I should have been drinking.
It was a big joke this weekend when I saw him. For those who didn't, that don't know the inside joke or the inside scoop, there was a big thing. I guess I didn't notice at the time when we interviewed Dan the first time around, but he used the word process many, many times to the point where some of his friends decided to turn it into a drinking game. And so now it's a standing joke.
And we make reference to it in our W. Mac Thomason interview because he's the one who he made fun of it.
And I saw Bill this weekend too. Did I tell you that?
I think so.
Maybe I did tell you that. Yeah. It was good to see him. He's engaged. Congratulations.
Oh my God. Yeah. Congrats. That's awesome.
He's always fun to see and talk to.
Big shout out to Bill.
And Bit Factory. Well, man, we filled way more time than I thought we were this week and this evening. And so thank you for logging on. Thank you for being a part of this journey, being, my partner in crime and doing all the heavy lifting with the audio editing. So if you enjoy this podcast and you enjoy the sound quality of the podcast, you have Mr. Wes Brown to thank.
Well, thanks, Todd. And it wouldn't be a show without you because you do all the scheduling of who we get to talk to. And that is probably heavier lifting than what I do. So thank you so much for everything you do, because it does take a team, and neither one of us could do it without the other, I don't think.
So I'm going to point out something right now as you're giving me these wonderful accolades.
Sure.
You're sitting there clicking your pen.
Sorry.
That's going to drive you crazy in your edit later.
Could you hear it?
You're like, what the hell was I doing?
Who's it clicking?
What was I thinking?
God damn. I always get on them when a necklace is clicking and somebody's tapping, and now Wes is clicking his pen.
I'm in tune to it, man. I can pick that up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bad habit, and I do it. And it's a horrible habit to do it in meetings, and I've done it before. So thank you for pointing that out. So
anyway, we've said it many times off the program, but it's been nice to do this in tandem, as a dual, as a partnership, because we keep each other accountable, and it's been a wonderful experience and hopefully you've enjoyed what you've heard. We're looking forward to this next year. And we've gotten a lot of nice comments from not only artists, but other people about the podcast. So thank you, everybody that has listened. Once again, if you are able, please consider supporting us by getting the word out, subscribing, rating, and reviewing us. And you're always welcome, and we'd appreciate it if you would share the podcast, because it's kind of a grassroots thing. So if you can help us out, we would greatly appreciate it. It's a labor of love, and we're happy to promote artists and art, not only in Denver, Colorado and South Dakota, but also anybody that we can get on the show. We're happy to promote you and get your story out there. So thank you to our listeners.
Thank you, listeners. We appreciate it.
That was long-winded, huh?
Sorry. No, it was beautiful. I got kind of choked up there for a minute, but I am a sap.
Anything else you want to talk about before we sign off?
No, just like you said, man, it's been a fun journey so far this year. I'm really excited for next year, and hopefully more years to come. But it's just getting better and better, and I think even our quality of presenting these artists, introducing them, is getting better. So we get goofy sometimes, like I've said in the past, and it's just a lot of fun. I just love it, and I can't wait for to continue doing this. This is great.
And if you don't have anything else, Wes?
No, I think that'll do it.
Well, for the Tenant Podcast, I'm Todd Pearson.
And I'm Wes Brown.
Have a great week.